Just a quick line, that's it. It is a beautiful thing. Look at that.
Welcome to Culinary Delights, where two Midwestern moms try to help you feed your hungry boys. I'm Amanda Bonanza. That's Lilith Electra. And joining us today from California is Emily Kalin, all the way from Southern California.
Wow.
Hi, ladies.
Emily, have you ever been to Disneyland?
Oh, so much. Yes, I love that. I love Disneyland.
My boys love Disneyland, and they love Mickey Mouse, and they love Goofies. They don't like the Disney princesses so much.
Such a good place to take kids, yeah.
That's so good for the whole family.
The whole family.
Emily hosts a TV show called The Transgender Show and has a media empire called The Transverse. Emily, would you like to tell us a little about what you're doing?
That's it. Just trying to build a network, provide great content for and about the trans community, and help people in any way we can.
That's great. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever struggle with making dinner and feeding your family?
Oh, yeah. You got the hungry mouths to feed.
You're such a busy person.
Yeah.
I was running a media empire. Doesn't probably leave you much time to cook and clean for the hungry boys.
You know, I don't run a media empire, and I have trouble feeding my hungry boys. So I can only imagine what running an empire does to your timetables.
I mean, it's hard enough just keeping up with the laundry.
Soccer practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and scouring the internet for something that's quick and easy to make can be tough. Yeah, I'm excited to be here and learn how to feed the hungry mouths that I've got around here.
That's great, because today we've got a real good recipe that's going to save you so much time, and it's so easy. I think it's only got 4 ingredients.
What?
This recipe is for easy mini chicken pies.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
That's right. This comes to us from a website called The Lazy Dish. Let's take a look. This one says easy mini chicken pot pies. Pillsbury biscuits stuffed full of a delicious mixture of canned chicken, frozen mixed veggies, and a can of soup baked in a muffin pan to create handheld mini chicken pot pies. Doesn't that just sound heavenly?
And so easy to do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with Pillsbury. Any recipe that starts with Pillsbury, you're good to go. Them boys will eat that up. Yeah.
They're going to love it. They're going to love it. All my boys love eating out of cans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Just
as long as you've got your good can opener by your side, you're good to go with this recipe. I love it.
I got to tell you, my youngest, Jerry, you got to watch him. He'll eat out of the garbage can. So you got to keep an eye on him. Yeah,
don't eat out of garbage can.
Get out of there.
That's not right.
Put that banana peel down.
This was posted on August 19th, 2022 by Lily. That's the person who runs the website, I think.
Oh.
Look at that. 30,000, almost 31,000 shares. That's a lot.
And what I like about this is that it's a recipe of a lot of canned ingredients, but the recipe itself is fresh. 2022, it's a new one.
It's fresh. Quick and easy. I thought that one was going to go over, but it did. Win some, you lose some. I rolled them bones and it came up snake eyes. Quick and easy dinner recipe made with canned chicken. Everyone loves canned chicken. It's my favorite kind of chicken. If you're looking for budget meals for your picky family, these delicious mini chicken pot pies are simple to make with just a few ingredients, including Pillsbury biscuits, canned chicken, cream of chicken soup, and mixed veggies. Don't let the ingredients fool you. They are awesome. I mean, if you gotta say that,
you gotta say. I also have to be honest.
This doesn't suck.
It just clicked in my mind that I realized they sell canned chicken like canned tuna, and this isn't going to be like a
you can mix them up.
But when you first say canned chicken, all I pictured was like a whole chicken cooked and then canned, and like opening.
They've got that too.
They do have that too, but I don't think
canned chicken.
I don't think that's what they're talking about.
I don't know why anyone would get a whole canned chicken. Like, why would you do that?
You can even get pre-cooked chicken at the store. Why would you buy a can
you can get a rotisserie. It's like right there. It's like right over there.
But and see, the thing is this part of the recipe here doesn't highlight the fact that they're frozen mixed veggies, which just Ooh,
that's the best kind of vegetables is when they're frozen.
Well, I mean, how else are you going to get your hungry boys their daily amounts of chemicals and preservatives if you're not using
You gotta trick them.
You gotta trick them. They're not going to eat those preservatives on their own.
You gotta sneak those veggies in there like you give a dog a pill. Don't worry, boys. You love pot pies, right? You remember that? Classic comfort food made lazy. I don't think it's so lazy.
Oh. That is not a tagline that really sells.
I know. That's it. That's
just
really
made
it. That's
totally
it.
lazy.
I don't know. Maybe this lady needs to work on her branding. Maybe not. It seems to be her whole jam. Here we are. Let's meet her. This is the lazy dish because that's the thing. That's her branding. It made lazy because it's the lazy dish. And so this is about her. It says, "Welcome to the lazy dish where cooking and living well don't mean being fancy." Well, ain't that the truth?
And if you're feeding a bunch of boys, there's nothing fancy about your life.
Lazy self-portrait at my desk. It's so lazy. Look at that. That's the kind of face of a person that says to me, it's okay to hit children because it says so in the Bible.
You can also get fresh vegetables and a fresh cooked rotisserie chicken, and it's not fancy.
Pretty fancy. Fresh vegetables.
You don't have to be an East Coast liberal elite to feed your kids. You could just.
Who's ever heard of a fresh carrot? Carrots come in a bag. They come in a bag.
I feel like her lazy brand is her take on whatever for idiots. The idiots book series for learning something got really popular. You're insulting your audience, and they're fine with it. And so that this is hers. He's like, you're lazy, and that's okay. And I'm going to help you as a lazy person feed your horde of children.
Chicken pot pies for dummies.
Yeah.
I don't like wasting time in the kitchen or around the house. That doesn't sound like a lazy person, but I definitely like to eat, and so does my family. Well, why fancy that? My family likes to eat too. We have so much in common. I've learned over the years that my favorite recipes are always the quick and easy ones made with a handful of simple ingredients. Because I'm lazy? No, silly. Because I'd rather be doing other things. Isn't that kind of the definition of lazy?
That's sort of like an ADHD sort of a thing, right? I cannot focus on this. I want to focus over here. This is the shiny thing that I want to focus my attention on.
It's too much. I got to dig a hole in the yard. I got to do it. It's the meth told me.
The boys are going to be there regardless if I feed them healthy, good food or not. They're still just going to eat and devour it. So why not do it as lazy, as quick and easy as possible?
Well, we know this is healthy because it's got frozen vegetables in it. And we know it's good because it's got chicken soup.
So true. And canned chicken, which is not a delicacy that I have experienced. So I'm excited about this.
Also, this is a recurring theme in these. The insidious Campbell's Soup organization trying to get us to put cans of crappy soup in everything. And here it is. I bet you this is
This isn't the Campbell's recipe.
Oh, let's see what the soup can is. Let's see what the soup can is.
Is this coming from Big Soup? Is that what this is?
It's coming from Big Soup. Yeah.
Okay.
The soup industrial complex.
Big Soup creeping into the zeitgeist.
The Pillsbury Campbell's industrial complex. It's coming right from them.
We're wary. We're paying attention here.
Yeah.
I figure you do too. So here I am sharing my favorite meals, snack, sweet treats, and other little tidbits. On this little corner of the internet, you will find a quick and easy recipes, household tips, life hacks, projects, and a few other random things that might make your life easier, tastier, and hopefully a little more fun. I had a little burpee there. I couldn't do all this on my own. My husband does all the boring back-end smart stuff, so I can spend my time being creative, and our kids keep us motivated to create new and exciting recipes. Sometimes they even act as my hand model, hold the light reflector, and sample the goods for approval. I'm just a dumb girl. My husband does all the smart thinking stuff.
And you didn't create, this is a recipe off the back of a can of soup. You didn't create this recipe. Please stop.
I just make simple recipes. I just know how to draw pictures. I don't know how to do all the smart stuff like run a website.
Well, and as
That's
a graphic
for
designer
boys.
by trade, I have a problem with the fact that her signature on her website is just a font. It's just laid out in a scripty font. She didn't even like sign her real name.
MS Script.
Oh dear.
Pretty sweet. Thanks for stopping by. Happy face emoji. Obviously follow us on Pinstagram and Face the Rest. Do all of it. P.S. We just moved to Arizona, and I'm completely obsessed with the desert landscape. My poor mom gets a picture from me almost every day. Well, isn't that touching? That's nice. Take pictures for your mom. That's wholesome.
What mom hates getting news updates from their kids?
Her poor mom. Maybe this person's mom. I don't know. Maybe they're just an annoying fuck.
Oh, mom's like seeing these desert
God damn it,
landscapes.
Lily. Another fucking stupid picture. Your dumb, ugly, dumpy ass.
Pillsbury
Arizona
biscuits is
yard.
not a recipe.
And
When are you going to pick up them tires? You're so lazy.
what a throwaway PS, by the way. What a throwaway tidbit. It has nothing to do with food or, trying new things in the area, new ingredients, anything like that. It has nothing to do with what we're doing here. I take some photos and I send them to my poor mom. It's like, okay.
She picked the canned chicken right off the canned chicken tree. It's a native to Phoenix.
So what's next? Do we get to actually do the recipe now? Do we just see
We
it?
could go through the whole thing. In fact, next I think is the ingredients. Look at that. Here we go. The ingredients are 2 cups of frozen mixed vegetables, thawed. Make sure you thaw them. You can just kind of run them over the water. You can put them in a strainer and run them through the sink for a few seconds. That'll do. That's enough thawing.
Mushy thawed
Just take it out of the
vegetables. Yay.
freezer. While you open the cans, it'll be fine. 1 12.5-ounce can of chicken breast. Kirkland, if you can get it, if you got a Costco.
If you can get it.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought she said she wasn't fancy. Get that Kirkland signature chicken.
The signature means quality.
Signature means it's exclusive. This is bespoke canned chicken.
Oh, yes.
1 10.5-ounce can condensed cream of chicken soup. Look at Lilith, you were right.
I was right.
It is Campbell's cream of chicken soup.
Cream
It's always
of something
Campbell's.
soup.
1 16.3-ounce tube Pillsbury Grands refrigerated biscuits, and then optional seasoning. Seasoning's optional. You don't have to season your food. No one says you have to season your food. You can leave all the seasoning out anytime
Honestly,
you want.
If you're eating this, flavor is not high on your list of things that you're interested in. You're just like,
all those
frozen
things have
food.
great flavors, and it's the flavor of salt.
And if
And
you're going to
cans.
season this food, you
Because
can't
cans have a
call it a
flavor.
lazy recipe. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to be truly lazy and stick and honor this, honor this
dumping.
experience, honor this recipe, no seasoning. If people want to season it, they can do it them damn selves.
Yeah.
Seasoning complicates the whole shebang. I mean, yeah.
This is
They're
dumb.
straying pretty
You're
far.
dumping it. It's the laziest way to cook. You're opening this up, you're dumping it into a container, and you put it in the oven. In fact, I guarantee that's the recipe is dump all this crap into a pan, put the oven to 350, and come back in half an hour.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Directions. Step 1.
Why are
Thoroughly
you
drain the
dirtying
can
a
of chicken
plate?
and mix with 2 cups of
You're dirtying a plate
Put
for
it all
this.
together, separate it out though. That's a food photography moment. They're doing that. That's not how it really works. You think she
The
does
amount of
that?
time it took
Maybe
to
she
get
does every
to get the
time.
soup in that little corner area and keep the peas and corn all together and
Not
nice
keep it
like
in
that.
its zone. Then maybe hide a little partition in there.
I think we need to pull her lazy card because there's nothing.
Well, this
lazy
is what
in
she's
that.
doing instead of cooking dinner because she's
Yeah,
doing all
I
this.
wanna
She's
do
all
other
separating
things.
her vegetables.
Yeah, maybe spend the time seasoning instead of doing this. Okay.
Also, can you
now
imagine being a kid and your mom calls you into the kitchen to hold the light so she could take a picture of this? I mean, she did say she gets the kids to help her with these things. They
She gets
hold
the
the
kids
lights.
to hold the lights.
Oh,
Here, hold
could you-
this, sweetheart.
The kid comes in and they're like, "What is this?" And she's like, "That's dinner." And the kid's like, "Oh, cool. Thanks, Mom."
Hey, Brandon, come here. I need you to hold the light for my chicken recipe. Mom, I'm playing Fortnite.
And then the kid looks at this and the kid's is like, "Well, at least we're having mashed potatoes." And she's like, "That's soup." And you're like, "What?" No, that looks like mashed
Look at
potatoes,
that color,
Mom.
though. It's beautiful.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
That's the color of a car that you can only afford if you're poor. Thoroughly drain the can of chicken and mix with 2 cups of thawed mixed veggies. Add your can of chicken and your can of chicken soup. I also like to sprinkle in a little Go on.
I'd be negligent as a critique if I didn't bring this up. It says thoroughly drain the can of chicken and mix it with 2 cups of it. Then none of that is mixed. That is clearly.
No,
we were
that's
joking about this at the top. That's all clearly
right.
separated. None of this is mixed.
Well, this is just to show
do we
you
do
the
this? This gets me
ingredients. This
so
is to show
mad.
you how simple it is. It's this easy. This is it. This is your whole thing right
I
here.
imagine some poor lady though reading the recipe and she just spent like this minute that takes this recipe takes like 2 seconds to put together. She spent like half an hour getting everything in a bowl, this perfectly separated because this lady online did it.
See, I imagine an old Italian grandmother who survived World War II, like on the right side of it and fought the fascisti and like probably killed a few and like did some guerrilla warfare. And she's got her recipes and she's this, but she doesn't speak a lot of English. So she's only going by the pictures and she's all confused. She's like, what are the Americans up to? Let's see how they cook.
So sad. All right.
After all, we'd all be speaking German if it weren't for them.
And here we go. She goes against her whole lazy thing. She's going to do some seasoning. She
likes to
practically
sprinkle a
advising
little
against it.
seasoning. Well, she didn't say you don't do it. She said it's optional. She said you can. This is what she likes to do. She's fancy.
If you want to, you can flavor your food. You have that option. You could put flavor in it.
What do you think is the threshold between fancy and not fancy? Like which one? Like what does time cross that line? Because I feel like it's pushing up against the boundary.
Time is partially that went to college on the East Coast. That's all that is. Yeah.
I think time is pushing up against that barrier. I think the canned chicken is pulling it back with the force of a magnet.
And she doesn't say it here. She just says time. She does say garlic powder and onion powder. So it's easy to assume that we're not talking anything fresh here.
Yeah, there's
no way this is fresh. There's no way this woman's using fresh
If it was
in
fresh
Arizona,
time, I would be out. But this is time out of a shaker.
Yeah.
So we're still in the right bounds here.
Call me when they invent powdered thyme, so I can use my powdered onion and my powdered garlic with my powdered thyme. That's what I need.
I'm sure it's somewhere they got. I'm sure McCormick makes powdered thyme. I'm sure.
I need it powdered. It's got to be beyond dried. It's got to be powdered.
Now she does give good advice here, which is go easy on the salt. because the soup has canned chicken already have salt. That's actually, that's important to say. I got to give her credit for that.
Go easy on the salt because you're already going to kill your kids with as much salt.
Fucking town on that onion powder though. Just dump it in there.
Yeah, go for it.
Step 2, preheat your oven to 375 degrees and grease the slots of a regular sized muffin tin.
8 slots.
There you go.
That's good. Challenge the lazy again. This is a lot of work. You could just lay those biscuits flat in a 9x13 pan.
And they're not going to get the cupcake shape that you need to have the right size.
Well, do you want a cupcake? So you don't want to be lazy. I mean,
these are mini pies. These are meat pies.
These are little mini me's.
First of all, these are not going to be pies in any sense of the word when they come out. They're going to be muffins with
I feel like they're
up in the middle of it.
Very much pies.
What
defines a pie?
I'm just chomping.
Let's see if it's close.
What these look like. What do these look like when they come out of the oven?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
This is already seeming to go off the rails.
I know it's building. It's building. The tension is unbearable.
It is.
Open your biscuits and use your fingers to press each biscuit into larger rounds. Place and press each round into your greased muffin tin. I found it best to leave the bottom of the dough as thin as possible so that it cooks thoroughly. You want a majority of the dough exposed. Okay. Was that track, Lilith?
I don't know what that means. Open your biscuits and use your fingers?
So, the part that touches the tin should be very thin, and then the rest of it should be, thick.
You want the majority of your dough exposed.
Got to expose the dough.
Just a little bit in the tin. Just a little bit. Make it thin.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would just say you asked about baking. I could whip you up 2 dozen buttermilk biscuits with 3 ingredients, and you could be eaten in half an hour. This is one step ahead of sucking nutrients out of a bag in the near future. This is not cooking at all.
Like the lowly salamander.
Yeah, you might as well just give your kids space ice cream from the 70s.
Spoon a very generous amount of your chicken mixture into each cup, and then pull the edges of the dough up and toward the center. Don't worry about the mixture seeping out. The dough will expand and rise, forming the perfect barrier. The perfect barrier. Defense against fancy.
It's a biscuit prison to keep everything from escaping. That's the barrier.
And looking at this image, I do
demilitarized zone.
Looking at this image, I do get the impression of generosity. This does look like a generous scoop that's gone in here.
Yeah,
so.
It's a generous scoop. Look at how good those vegetables look. They're slathered in that soup. Oh yeah, give it to me, baby.
I'm just I want to feed my kids stuff that they get in the orphanage. This is you want to say what a pie is? This doesn't look like a pie at all.
Bake for approximately 20 minutes or until the biscuits are golden brown and the creamy chicken center is heated through. Well, that's good advice. I'm with that.
Yeah, just jam your finger in there.
The finger test.
Just jam your finger in.
Yeah, just jam your finger in.
If your finger burns, it's done.
Yeah. I mean...
Blisters are a good thing.
You see the evolution of the food, though. It's it started out with just cans. Look how far we've come.
It does actually look edible, so...
Yeah. I mean, Bilbo Baggins... Move over. This is the true journey.
This is what you do with leftovers. I've got leftover veggies and chicken from my rotisserie. Cool, but why are you feeding your kids canned?
This is your jam.
I'm not gonna die on this hill here. Continue.
You're gonna live. You're gonna live on this hill.
Never leaving
Allow
this
them to cool for about 5 minutes before digging in. You don't got to do that. Just eat them. Pull them out of the oven. They're ready. That's how it goes. Your boys ain't waiting 5 minutes. It's never going to happen. Forget about it. Don't entertain. You're going to have to hide them. You're going to have to trick them. It might take them 5 minutes to get out of there to shut down Minecraft. It might take 5 minutes for that.
Yeah.
It could be. That could be. You'll be surprised at how easy these pop out of the muffin tin. There should be very little cleanup involved. That's actually awesome. because cleanup is a drag, and
Very lazy.
less dishes the better.
I mean,
When
And I
you
gotta
use
say,
a
that doesn't
when you
look
use a
terrible.
nonstick muffin tin like she is, like that's kind of the point of being easy to remove.
But that's what you get. And I think it's like, I don't know. I just got a nice bite taken out of it. Do you think that's one of her boys? That's that hand model?
yeah, I do. I
I'll
really
bet you.
do.
I'll bet you. And what a hand that is.
Got to hand
They're
it to
going to be
him.
a superstar.
Hey, very nice.
Here's some helpful tips just in case you want to go the extra mile. If you have a picky family with kids to feed, this recipe is for you. Doesn't sound much like a tip, does it? That sounds more like a boast. It's so simple to throw together on busy weekends with just a handful of ingredients. Once again, not a tip. Not a tip at all. The Kirkland brand of canned chicken from Costco is the best I've ever tried. But you can use any brand you'd like. You could also opt to use rotisserie chicken or leftover chicken, as Lilith had mentioned.
There
Love the idea
several
that
times.
she's traveled the world looking for the
Tasting
best canned chicken.
from every corner of the globe.
She's like that movie Johnny Depp was in where he went around and like would eat all the carne asada at the restaurants and like looking for the best. She's looking for the best canned chicken she can
Looking for
find.
the best canned chicken.
And of course, yeah, it isn't. It's sort of for the elite. It is. You have to have a Costco membership to get in. Like
You do.
it's
You
limited.
I know.
It's a limited.
Not
group of
everyone
people.
can shop at Costco. You gotta be in the club. You gotta be a member. Members only. Members only for this can of chicken. It's members only chicken.
And then she rubs your face in it.
Yeah.
It's the best ever.
It's
Oh, you're
the
not a
best.
member?
You
Well,
have to
it's
join the
best.
club if
It's
you want to get the best
I mean,
canned chicken.
If you're
I've
not
been
part of the club,
everywhere.
I guess you can use rotisserie chicken or leftover chicken or whatever. Like, you know,
Whatever.
if
Not
that's
the
what you have
best.
to use because you can't use the best in canned chicken.
Can we
You want to be a piece of shit.
do something subversive? Here's something for all our listeners and viewers.
Sure.
You go to the store, you go to like Target or the grocery store, and they have all the gift cards.
Yeah.
Buy a $5 or $10 Costco gift card, and you can go in and shop at Costco. They let you in if you got a gift card. Yeah, they let you in if you got a gift card. And you
little
don't have to be a
Costco
member.
hack.
You don't have to be
You
a member.
learned that on the Pirate Bay.
Well,
I'm not going to tell
heck,
you where I learned it. I don't want to put anyone's life
Yeah,
in
you learned
danger.
it on the dark web using your VPN, I bet.
I risked everything to tell our listeners this. I don't want to get anyone else in trouble. Yeah,
It's a hot
buy a
tip
Costco
direct
gift
from
card.
Edward Snowden.
wow. Who knew?
Who knew?
That's great information. I'm so glad I came.
A muffin pan made out of tin works best for this recipe to ensure that the Pillsbury dough cooks all the way through. If you're using silicone, you may want to pre-cook the dough for a few minutes before loading the chicken mixture in. Does that track, Lilith?
I don't know if I have anything made of tin. Like, like, is that what stuff is made out of? Tin? Like most of my stuff is like
I don't
aluminum
know.
or like
You remember stainless steel usually, right?
yeah, stainless steel or like I use cast iron all the time. I'd probably make this in a cast iron. Put the
Cast
muffins-
iron muffin pan?
I do have a cast iron muffin pan, but I would put this in the bottom of a cast iron, like a big cast iron pan, and make it like a casserole and just spread all the stuff on top. If I were to
That would
make
be a whole
this,
different
which I
thing,
want.
though. Then it wouldn't be minis.
Let's just go on.
Are you forgetting what Mayor Pro Tem had to say, Lilith? You're not.
I'm sorry. I'm changing
You've
the recipe. It's my
strayed from the
fault.
path.
I'm strayed from the recipe. I'm sorry. You're right. I do, and yes, I do have a cast iron muffin pan.
That's pretty fucking cool.
It is really cool.
And all, yeah. No jokes out of the room. That's awesome.
And I stole it, so even better. I stole it from the thrift store I worked at. It never made it to the floor. It just went right into my car.
You can also replace the mixed veggies with cooked broccoli or any soft vegetable you'd like. Maybe add some mushrooms?
Maybe.
So we've talked about the fact that she hasn't done a very good job here of providing tips, right? You know,
Yeah.
like the first
feel
couple were a little iffy. It
those
was
last
until
two
we
are
got
good.
to the Kirkland brand chicken where she's starting to give us some tips
Right.
of like, here's how you can make it the best possible is get, you know, these exclusive ingredients from, you know, the Kirkland signature brand at Costco. And I feel like she's gone the weakest direction at the very end. She finishes the worst by she puts a tip in there. She puts a suggestion more, and then asks us a question. Like, you're supposed to be the expert here. And
you're making the recipe. Don't ask me what's supposed to go in it.
Maybe add some mushrooms, like question mark.
It's like, what should I put in this?
I mean, I got a question, a recipe.
In Idiocracy, when like Lowell from Wings was like freaking out because no one was buying Brondo.
Just kind of
what I'm talking about.
Vaguely.
Thomas Hayden Church, his famous scene.
Thomas Hayden Church. Oh, yes, from Wings.
Why the only fan of both Wings and Idiocracy? I know you've seen Idiocracy.
I love Idiocracy. I don't remember Thomas Hayden Church. I remember Thomas Hayden Church in Tombstone. He was great.
Yeah, Lowell Mather on Wings. Absolutely.
Oh,
Mechanic.
yeah.
Great character. Yeah.
Hey, do you remember the theme from Wings?
No.
No one does. I'm not convinced they had one.
Thomas Hayden Church is Lowell Mather, and then Tony Shalhoub is the taxi driver.
Tony Shalhoub, Antonio Carpacci, I think. Scarpacci.
Also, for most of his life, Steven Weber was always introduced as Wings Steven Weber.
That's awesome.
Every time you would read, it's like, oh, Wings Steven Weber.
That's great. What a nice honor that must have been.
Also, last thing, because Tim Daly was also in that. Tim Daly was mentioned as a real person in The Sopranos, and then he came back later and was a character in The Sopranos, and it always took me out of the reality of the show.
Oh, yeah, they broke down that fourth wall.
You can't have an actor play a character
smashing through the fourth wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Heather McCarter said, "Made these tonight. Amazing." Shannon Molnax Conway says, "Can you freeze them and reheat in an air fryer?" No.
You do whatever you want.
Not.
Shannon Molnax Conway, do whatever you want.
Sorry, that's illegal.
Well, you're going to defrost the vegetables and then freeze them and reheat. Are you going to cook them all the way first and freeze them?
She's talking about cooking them all the way and then storing them in the freezer, like making an extra big batch and then storing them and then heating them up later in an air fryer. It's
already a lazy recipe. How much lazier do you need to get?
It's against the law. You go right to jail.
It's also 8 little biscuits. How many leftovers are you planning that you're going to freeze them? I got to freeze them. 6 months later, we'll have these again. It's just just eat them over the course of 2 days.
She's planning on quadrupling the recipe. That's what it is.
Well, here's what I'm wondering.
I mean, you're at Costco. You can only buy chicken, you can
only you have to buy 100 cans of chicken.
The flat, yeah.
I mean, I gotta buy 16 packs of Grands and a whole flat of chicken. So.
She knows that you can freeze them. She knows that you can.
She's trying to show off.
She knows. She's just here for the attention. She's just
showing off. Yep.
She's like, so this is. I think this is a passive aggressive action. She's not asking. She's being like, if you want, you can put them in the freezer and heat them in an air fryer later. Didn't think of that, did you, Lily?
So Shannon sounds like one of these liberal elitists who own a freezer and an air fryer. So I don't know how much.
Nancy Pelosi during the pandemic.
Yeah, 1% in it right here.
And her $10,000 freezer full of gelato.
I mean, she has 2 last names too. She's hoarding everything here. Shannon Molnax Conway.
Shannon Molnax Conway. Maybe Molnax is her middle name. It's the name she got on her home planet.
So that sounds like her home planet last name. Oh, Star Trek character.
I am Molnax, but you can call me Shannon. Can you freeze these and put them in the air fryer?
So the last comment here, I feel like this is big. This is a fan. This is somebody who has bought fully into this lazy dish idea and is
Tracy's
all about
a big fan. She loves it. You make your format so simple and easy. I find that very helpful, and I say no to the other recipe sites.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
This is the only place I go on the internet anymore.
I say no.
I'm trying this tonight. I've already made several of your dishes, and they were perfect. And of course, that's the one that gets the reply. Thank you, Nikki. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Well, clearly she did.
Hold on. I am looking at Nikki's picture. Nikki looks like Lily in a black wig,
doesn't she?
That's all that is. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did we blow this whole thing wide
Some
open?
white fraud going on here.
Yeah. This is lazy chef gate.
Wow.
Hey,
Hey, Brendan, go get my black wig. Brendan, get my black wig. I need it for the review.
we try to trust the sites for the reviews, but I went offline and got a review. I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to hear a 1-star review from a yoga instructor or a 5-star review from a grandmother?
Oh, I kind of want to hear Grandma's response, but let's go 1 star. What does somebody say 1 star?
1 star. Okay, this yoga instructor probably saw it was easy and healthy. I recently tried the Easy Mini chicken pies, and let me tell you, it was a downward dog disaster for my taste buds. The crust was more like a crunchy yoga mat, lacking any flakiness or flavor. The filling tasted like a misguided attempt at culinary enlightenment with bland chicken and vegetables that failed to harmonize. As a yoga instructor, I'm used to finding balance, but these mini chicken pies left me namaste, avoiding them in the future. Namaste, avoiding these
you're
in the
trying
future.
You
way
made the
too
right
hard.
choice, Emily. I mean, I feel like you could have done a better pun with namaste.
Namaste away from this recipe.
Namaste at home. Don't even go to Costco for that canned chicken. Let's take a look at our final product here. There we are. There we are.
That picture is way too. It's way too close. I don't need to get this close.
A nice picture. You see every nook and cranny of that. I mean, it looks like it's a little like it's been sitting out a minute, maybe.
I think the winning photo is the one with the bite. The one with the bite out of it is the winner.
No, not this one where you can like see the shimmer on the congealed soup.
No.
That's the perfect word. This does look very congealed.
Looks a bit congealed.
Just, you know what else is weird for this kind of recipe? Almost all these recipes have at least some shredded cheese in them. This is one of the few ones that doesn't have a bag of shredded cheese.
There's no cheese in this recipe.
There's no cheese in this.
Cheese.
Definitely not
There's no
Midwest
cheese
recipe.
in a pot pie, so it makes sense. Like there's no cheese in a chicken pot pie. I would tear the living shit out of this. This looks great, and it does look really easy. It's like that's the thing about this website is I went through it, and they're like, so when I was looking for stuff, like I stumbled onto this website, and I thought it was going to be a gold mine because of those pictures that she shows at the beginning that show all the ingredients. They're just appalling. But like the final picture that she does, what she does with them is actually, it's like, yeah, okay, realistically, like you want to whip up a quick fucking dinner for your kids just so you'll shut them up and get them out of your hair. Like all of them are pretty goddamn awesome. And this one is easy. It's like canned biscuits, throw them in the thing, mix some stuff together and throw it in the oven. It's done.
Yeah.
And it's like, say what you will, and kids will love it because kids don't like fancy stuff. They like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. That's what kids want to eat.
And it sneaks
so
veggies in there. Like they've got the pastry of it, which they're going to want to eat. It's you can pick it up in your hand. It's very easy. It's a very handheld meal, so they're going to love that. And yeah, you snuck a ton of vegetables in there. Good on you, Mom.
It's true. It's like this does the job. It does the trick. It gets the job done, and it's gonna knock it right out of the park. I gotta hand it to her. Like this is actually pretty solid. So like, as
for me, now stay away from this recipe.
Namaste.
Namaste.